Yo guys, what is up? My name is Gian and welcome back to FPL Tribe. In this video, we're going to have a quick look at our Gameweek 9 team and how we did. As you guys know, we did go for Havertz over Salah. So this is the video that I least wanted to make. I knew at some point in this season, we are going to get a red arrow and a big one. I just didn't expect it to be this one. I really thought that the guy Havertz is going to be the differential to push me up into the top 100k. In the end, it actually brought me down a lot, as I'll speak to when we get there. But if you guys enjoy the video, give it a like, give me a subscribe, and watch how we come back from this. Enjoy, guys. So guys, here it is, my game week 9 points. And as you guys can see, not the best round pass, only scoring 76 points, dropping from around 230k, 220k to around 455k. So a really big red arrow for us, about 200k drop. And I think, as you guys can see, most of it's just down to choosing the wrong captain. And I think I said it in the start of the season, like, choosing a captain is really important. And going differential is not really a good idea. But yeah, we did it, but we'll get to that now. Sanchez, starting at the back with Sanchez. Really happy to have Sanchez as my goalkeeper, just because he is a really good keeper, playing in a really good defense. I know he didn't look that good against Man City, but I mean, that's one of the best attacks in the world probably. And Sanchez, being a really good keeper, he got 4 points because he was able to make a lot of saves. Like I said, that's just the fact is he's a good goalkeeper. And against, I want to say, less attacking sides, he will get more clean sheets. He won't get the bonus points then, or the save points, just because his defense in front of him is so good. But really happy to have him. And coming away with 4 points in a game where you can see 4 goals, you don't really see that, so really happy with that. Then moving on to Trent, according to me, he had a difficult game against Man United. I didn't expect him to keep a clean sheet, and there Trent Alexander goes, gets a clean sheet, gets an assist. So really happy with him because he's basically like an extra midfielder for us. Same goes for Cancelo. Really unlucky to concede that penalty late in the game. I think just a bad mistake from Ederson, and that cost us another 5 points because Cancelo would have finished on 6 and probably gotten a bonus point or 2 just because he is so attacking. So when they keep a clean sheet, he's always in for bonus points. Then Reece James getting the max. No, he didn't get the maximum. Sorry, he got 2 bonus points because Mason Mount scored a terrific hat-trick. So James, I think Tuchel said in his press conference afterwards, like, this is how he wants his wing-backs to play. And he spoke especially about James and Chilwell being so attacking. So I think that really shows us that James is part of the plan going forward. And the reason we went with James over Chilwell is because I just think James going forward is better than Chilwell. I know Chilwell is scoring a lot of goals and getting assists at the moment, but for me, James is a lot more physical and he's stronger on the ball. According to me, he's got a better cross, so he's got a better chance for assist. And if he can get into those positions, he's a really composed finisher. So I'm really expecting some more points from him. Then Thiago Livramento, really happy that we got him on that wild card. 9 points. He could have had more as he hit the post a couple of minutes just before he scored that goal. So just having a 4 million player, well, I got him in for 4 million. I think he's 4.4 or 4.3 million now. So a little bit more difficult to get him into your team now. But if you were one of the guys that went for him, I think it was a really good decision to get him in, as we were planning to keep him on the bench for most of the games, but Southampton coming in with a really good run of fixtures, I just think it's a good time to let him play because Southampton defensively is looking good and he's playing a really attacking role in that Southampton team. So really happy with him. Then Mo Salah, our vice captain, 24 points. I think even if we captained Salah, we could have maybe gotten a green arrow. Not maybe, we definitely get a green arrow and be in a better position than we were before the round. But I just think I'll get to it, I'll speak on it when I get to Havertz, but I think going with Mo Salah as your vice captain in this game, if you did captain him, well done. I'm not going to take it away from anyone, but who expected Mo Salah to score a hat-trick against Man United? I don't think there's a lot of people, and that's the reason why I didn't captain him. Then Rafinha going off injured just after I think it was 53 minutes, around about there. So I already heard Bielsa talk about him and say he is going to be fit for this game, for the coming Saturday. He did miss the cup games, but I was just resting him. So he will be able to play this weekend, and really happy to have him in the team just because he is probably one of the best midfielders in the game and playing in the attacking sides that he's lead. So still expecting a lot of points from him. Then Kai Havertz that we went for as our captain. I think if anyone went for Kai Havertz, it's really, I don't want to say it's unlucky, I'll say. I don't want to make it like it sound like I'm being, well, I captain him and he should have scored. Well, let's put it like this. If every single player in a team gets a return, like the wing backs got returns, all of the attacking players, every defender got the clean sheet points. Kai Havertz was the only player that started that didn't get a return. And I think if you see a scoreline of 7-0, you probably think that the striker would have gotten one or two. In our case, he didn't even get one of the assists. So I think the logic behind it was over captaining Havertz over Salah is just because I expected United and Liverpool game to be much closer, be 1-0, 2-0. I did expect Salah to score. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't expect Salah to score, but I don't think anyone would have predicted that Salah would go ahead and score a hat-trick, where a hat-trick for Havertz was more likely. A big haul from Havertz was more likely than a haul from Salah. So it could have gone either way. I know Havertz, probably thinking about it now, he hasn't played a lot of games, so he was a little bit rusty. Giving the captaincy armband after coming in for his first start, probably for this season, probably wasn't the best decision. But I took the gamble. I think the maths and the reasoning behind it was there. And like I said, this could have easily been swapped around where Salah only got one return and Havertz got a hat-trick, but it didn't happen. So that's why our rank dropped so incredibly far. But like I'm only gonna say this one more time, but I think the logic behind captaining Havertz for me was there. And yes, on hindsight, looking back now, it was probably the wrong decision. But I think if I have this decision to do it again, if you take me back a game week, I'll probably do it again. Just because the ceiling for Havertz was much higher, playing against weaker defense than Mo Salah. So, and it worked out the other way around in this game, and that's FPL. It is going to happen. So I think just what I want to try and say is, if you make a decision and it doesn't work out, it doesn't help to get negative. The best thing is just to move forward and try and pick up that rank. Don't go differential on all your captains now because you feel like you need to pick up. I think next week, playing a safe captain or play where 70% of the game is going to captain him, you still can captain him. You don't need to do differential captains like Rafinha or going for a defender to try and get more points. I think they will, if you still stick to your plans and make the right transfers, you can catch up that rank. Another friend of mine that I spoke to during the week said, if you can fall that much in 1 week, you can surely climb that much in 1 week as well. And I think the logic behind that is pretty good because it can happen if you have one more good week and you can catch up all those positions. Then moving on to Tony, really happy to have him with his run of fixtures coming in. I think he was unlucky not to score in that game against Leicester. He was really attacking or even get an assist. He's so attacking and playing in that final balls for Mbeumo that plays with him. Someone will probably look at to get into our team. Jamie Vardy, we brought him in for Lukaku, injured Lukaku, so I think 1 point is better than 0 points. Lukaku would have gotten 0, he didn't play. So for me, the logic behind Vardy was also good. I think that Brendan Rodgers said he wasn't really injured. He had a problem in warm-up. They tried it. He said the hamstring was still bothering him and they took him off. So it was more precautionary than something happening and then taking him off. So I think he would be fine for this next game week. And let's just cross our fingers and hope. Then Jimenez, we brought him in for Antonio. We know Antonio scored, but Jimenez did get the assist. And I think moving forward in fixture-wise, Jimenez is still going to be a better option than Antonio. So really happy we got him in. And at least he did get a return. Then on the bench still, he's 0 points. Like I said, he's not going to play unless Sanchez is injured. Saka, he could have probably scored 1 or 2 goals, had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, shot it straight at the keeper. So happy we didn't have points on the bench, but definitely he's really looking like a good option for that midfield. If Livramento doesn't have a good game, he can always slot in there for that fourth midfield option. Then Tomiyasu, I think it's just typical Arsenal. In a game where you would expect them to play well and get a clean sheet, they go and concede 2 goals, I think. So not too upset because he is just mostly just there because he plays 90 minutes and we need someone on the bench. Then Brownhill, as we all know by now, scores 2 points probably in every single game he plays. Really attacking returns he will get, and Burnley not keeping a lot of clean sheets, he doesn't get that bonus point or that extra point for the clean sheets. But someone we like to have on the bench just because he is playing regularly minutes and probably playing 90 in most games. Then moving on to our Game Week 10 team, as you guys can see, we're pretty much going to go for the same team except for the captaincy swap. So Sanchez coming up against Liverpool. I don't expect Sanchez to keep a clean sheet, but I do expect him to make a lot of saves again, just like he did in the Man City game. So I think it's really good news to have him there because he's a really good keeper. I do expect him to get more points over the long run than some other keepers at 4.5 million. I know he had 2 difficult fixtures in a row now, playing Man City, playing Liverpool, probably 2 of the best attacks. But just happy to have Sanchez in there because he's a really good keeper in a really good defense. Then Trent Alexander-Arnold, someone I can expect probably a clean sheet from and a little attacking bonus just because he is so attacking, basically playing as a midfielder on that right-hand side of the Liverpool attack. So really, he is playing more like an attacker, so I don't even classify, might as well just put him there next to Salah because that is his position most of the game, where Salah pushes forward and he comes into midfield. Then Cancelo against Crystal Palace, probably hoping for a attacking return from Cancelo because he's always expected goals or expected assists. It's always so high from him. I just think he's not the best finisher, but we don't expect him to score a lot of goals. If he gets one, that's pretty cool. But he's more there because he's playing in one of the best defenses in the competition and he's so attacking. So he can always get an attacking return, but he's more there for his defensive abilities. I don't want to say his abilities because he's not the best defender, but he will get clean sheet because he plays in a really good defense. Then Reece James, I think, and I know I said this about the previous 2 as well, but he can also get a major haul in this game again. Coming up against Newcastle, I don't expect Newcastle to score against Chelsea, and Reece James supplying a lot of balls on that right wing. So just really happy to have him there playing, and I think he can get an attacking return, and the clean sheet is definitely on for Chelsea. So out of my 3 backs, my premium backs, I really expect clean sheets and maybe an attacking return from all 3 of them. Then Livramento playing against Watford, I think he's just shown how good he is attacking, and I really like this fixture against Watford. I know Watford's got a new manager and they played really well against Everton in the last game, but I think Southampton has shown that they are good in defense, and Livramento showed how good he is in attacking. So he can get another goal, but I think they can also get a clean sheet against Watford that's really on and off when you don't know what Watford team is going to pitch and actually play. So expecting a lot from my back 4 and probably some save points from my keeper. Then moving on to captain Mo Salah against Brighton, I just think you can take another chance on someone else, but the kind of form Mo Salah is in is just something you can't ignore. And I know I made this mistake on the previous game week, and that's probably why I won't do it again. I think there's a lot of people thinking Salah is just the captain for the rest of the season because he scored against, I think he scored 2 against, or he got an assist and a goal against Man City. Now he scored a hat-trick against Man United. So that's supposed to be the hard fixtures where he's not, or what a lot of people will say he's not supposed to score a lot of points, but he is getting major point hauls. So I think captaining Salah for the rest of the season is an option, but for me, that's not the way I want to play FPL. I'm a fixture first manager, and like I said last week, the fixture for Havertz was just better for me, and that's why I captained him. I'll probably do the same thing if I see something like that again. But for this game week, I'm happy to have it on Mo Salah. Then Rafinha playing against Norwich. I think he can get a major haul in this game as well if he plays. I know that Bielsa said he is playing or he's going to be fit. There won't be any problems. But you can't help to think if a player goes off like that, there is problems. So I think we'll only know once the team sheet is out. But I can see Rafinha scoring major points in this game week. Then Havertz playing against Newcastle, same as James. I think getting points from him in this game week would be probably if he doesn't score, I would consider taking him out just because there is another midfielder I'm considering. And but he's got this fixture against Newcastle, then he's got another fixture against Burnley. I think as long as Lukaku and Werner is out, he is going to be the number 9 in that team, and he can score points, because as we saw, Chelsea has the ability to score 5 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals in a game, and I think it was just unlucky that he wasn't involved in any goal in last week's game, and I can see another 5-0 against Newcastle just because the defense is so bad, and hopefully this time Havertz is part of that. Then Tony against Burnley. I just think Tony hasn't gotten the points he deserves for this season. The way he's looked on, if you watch the games, the eye test, he's so good. He plays in a lot of players, makes those final passes, can probably get a few more assists if Mbeumo was a better finisher. So I really think over this next couple of fixtures where he has a good run, Tony can get a lot of points for me. Then Jamie Vardy, like I said, was off injured, but we know Vardy against the top 6 teams, if you can consider Arsenal still as top 6 teams, he just loves scoring against the big teams. And I think that's the reason why I'm even considering him for captain if he plays. I just think the risk isn't worth it going off Mo Salah again and dropping in rank again. So Vardy, really considering him just because his record against the big 6 is so good, and we know he likes a goal against Arsenal as well. So the Jimenez against Everton, I just think he can return in this game as well. Now, I know I said this about every single player in my team, but if you look at the fixtures, they just look like all of them can get 10 points in this game, even more. So Mo Salah can probably score a hat-trick again. Havertz can score a hat-trick. Rafinha against Norwich can score a hat-trick. Tony against a struggling Burnley is a really good option. So Jimenez playing against Everton, also considered 5 goals against Watford, that we can't even consider a good attacking team. So I can really see all my players scoring really good points and probably making up for that red arrow we took in the last game week. Then Saka against Leicester. So I'm considering Saka if he plays, just because he did look so good. But I don't know who to take out for Saka at the moment. Same goes for Tomiyasu. He's probably going to be on my bench just because I can't see anyone that I want to take out for him. And then Brownhill playing against Brentford. Brentford's defense is just looking so good that I can't consider playing a midfielder that doesn't look too attacking and not really getting attacking returns. So guys, that's it from me for this game week video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, give me a subscribe. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this season, as now there's like a challenge to try and I still want to finish in the top 100k. That is my goal from the start of the season, and I still think we can do it even after that big red arrow. I just think looking at the transfers going forward, you need to be clever about them and get in on players before other people get in, and that's how you will catch up. So last week wasn't the best, and we try to look forward to this game week where we can bounce back. As you guys just saw the team, I really expect a lot of returns, but that's FPL. You don't know if you're going to get them, so just can't wait for Saturday for it to begin. And thank you guys. I just want to say really thank you. I appreciate all the feedback I've gotten on the videos. A lot of you guys watching the videos, and I'm really just enjoying this as my first season of making FPL content. Just enjoy bringing you guys something and showing you what my plans is, what my thoughts is on certain players. So I just want to say again, thank you for the support, guys, and good luck with your game week. Cheers.